we looking at recovery. We look now what recovery, when we talk about recovery, we are talking about building back better. So what does that mean? That means analyzing what happened during the disaster, what worked, what did not work, why it did not work, and how can we rectify this situation for the future, so that we don't have the same kind of problem all over again. So that is what building back better is: learning from the past and fixing it for the future. And unfortunately, sometimes when disasters happen, the damage is so vast that there is a situation where a reconstruction has to be done, and therefore there is the time not to build back same, but to build back better. So if there was a problem with the land use, it can be changed. If there was a problem with the building codes, that can be updated, and the new housing can be constructed according to the improved building code. Or for example, in some places they have changed the land use, so those parts of the city which are very disaster prone, they have converted into parks and recreational areas, so that they can be used for that rather than for housing or commercial purposes. So there is an element of policy change that can happen during the reconstruction process, especially for the housing area, for the commercial areas, and so on. So that's something we can look at. There are some very good guidelines developed by the International Recovery Platform, and they are referenced in the UCLG guidelines. So you can have a look at that. It's also the recovery phase is also an opportunity to look into the future. So because there is going to be a significant there is going to be some there's some background noise. There is going to be some element of reconstruction. So it is an opportunity to look at the land use plan in the city, and to look at the spatial distribution and maybe change some of that. One example I'll give you from, it's a man-made disaster, 9/11 in Manhattan. When the 9/11 happened, the Twin Towers collapsed, and then the city was looking at how to rebuild that area. And they said, let's look at what we want this area to be 50 years from now. And they said, what we want it to be is to be a transportation hub for New York, for New Jersey and Connecticut, the tri-state area. This can become a transportation hub. So they built it in such a way that now today it is actually a transportation hub for the entire area. So it's an opportunity to think and look into the future. Then it also is a time when there needs to be good coordination with the humanitarian stakeholders. So UCLG has provided a very good guidance for local authorities in working with humanitarian actors. And basically what this tries to do is clarify who does what, roles and responsibilities, where where is the jurisdiction of the humanitarian, where is the city, and most important, leaving doors open for opportunities emerging. Because at the humanitarian stage, you start seeing where things went wrong. So when the humanitarian response is happening, it becomes clear this is the mistakes of the past, and those can lead to inform the reconstruction process, so that those mistakes of the past can be rectified, and that can be done through the reconstruction or recovery plan. By the way, when we talk about Build Back Better, there is a concept of pre-disaster recovery planning also, and that is a very, very powerful tool, because Often after the disaster, there is a lot of chaos. So it's better to have some kind of plan beforehand. The plan doesn't go into details, but it does determine who will be consulted, how will they be consulted, what are the mechanisms of intersectoral coordination, and so on, who's who, who's the contacts, and things like that, so that the recovery planning is more coordinated.